Matt Forde has spoken about having a colostomy bag following cancer surgery and how he was repulsed at the thought of having one, when told by doctors. The 41-year-old stand-up comedian and Absolute radio presenter was speaking on BBC's newscast podcast when he revealed his worries in the aftermath of undergoing surgery for a spinal tumor. Matt commented on a post on X, formerly Twitter, from BBC Sounds which shared his story that he needed a colostomy bag with the comment, "The thought of having a colostomy bag didn't just worry me, it repulsed me. But I've got used to it very quickly and don't feel embarrassed about it at all. If you're about to have one, don't worry. It's completely different to how I imagined it." In the accompanying video clip, Matt started by saying that his recovery is going well so far. "I feel great. I've totally got used to having a colostomy bag, I remember someone on our street getting one when I was a kid. I was like, that sounds like the worst thing. That sounds like the most harrowing thing. It's amazing how quickly you get used to it. And then, peeing, I had to self-catheterize myself." When asked what this involved, Matt clarified, "I mean, this was nothing. I had an indwelling catheter when I was in there. When you've got a catheter that's in. I mean, people would trip over it, stuff would get trapped on it. One guy yanked it thinking it was like, you need to unplug the bed before he goes down for a CT scan. Pulled on it, I was like, oh my god. Honestly, I could feel like earthquakes in Japan on that thing. The slightest movement to that cord, and it was like, winces. I became acutely aware. I could tell if people were like, coming in the car park. Someone in Bay 3's just pulled out, it was just the slightest touch." The comedian said that he had a buildup of anxiety ahead of the catheter being removed, as he wasn't sure what to expect and wasn't getting the positive responses he wanted that would ease his worries. Matt continued, "So, I was glad when that was removed. But the thought of having that removed, we built up for that for weeks. I was like, how on? You're going to have to pull that thing out. You know, when you look for reassurance from another human being. If I look you in the eye and say it won't hurt too much, will it? You would say, I don't know. Probably not, or don't worry. Some people I would talk to, I'd say to people, it'll be fine, won't it? And some people would go, well, a lot of people struggle with it. Don't say that. Say most people don't, I'm sure." Talking about the moment the catheter was removed, Matt was thankful to the nurse who performed the procedure. He continued, "An amazing nurse called Jess came in early to take my catheter out one morning, and honestly, I didn't feel a thing, so I was like, oh my god, because the thought, male or female, of putting stuff down that hole, it's not a pleasant thought, and, the slightest touch, I thought it was going to feel like a 2x4 covered in nails. Do you know what I mean? I was like, the thought of it. It slips down with ease." When Matt shared the news of his spinal tumor last September, he took to social media to thank all those who sent him positive messages, including Ben Shepherd and Piers Morgan. He wrote at the time, "I'm overwhelmed by all your messages. Thank you so much. I feel a bit young to be dealing with this, but hopefully that will aid my recovery. I know the hardest stuff is still to come, but my advice so far is, if you have something wrong, go to the doctor. Catch it early." Follow Mirror Celebs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.